6:13 WMAZ Morning starts now.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any colder, it is to start the day, and we are staying quite chilly this week. I'll have those details and when we'll see our next rain chance. That's coming up.
52 homicides from Macon. Pure sadness. That's all I can say.
A deadly shooting in Macon marks a sad milestone for the city. What Bibb County deputies found, and they responded to a call on Riverside Drive.
Plus, millions of Americans are getting ready to travel for the Thanksgiving holiday. The times you may want to avoid driving through Metro Atlanta today.
On average, we have about 45 missions flying around the world at any one time.
All of them tracked in this room at Robins Air Force Base. Still ahead around 6:44, I'll go behind the lines to the Force Generation Center and explain what their crisis action team does. Well, good morning. You are looking live over a beautiful start to the day in downtown Macon. Time is 6:31 on this Wednesday, November 24th. I'm Caitlin Heck.
And I'm Wanya Reese. I'm happy that the Christmas tree is all lit up this morning because it's actually starting to feel a lot like Christmas.
Yes, it is, Courtney.
That's right. It feels more like winter time to start the day. And Caitlin, you said Christmas Eve. It's just a month away. Can you believe that, everyone? Wow. And I know a lot of you probably, just like downtown Macon, have your Christmas tree up already. 28 in the city of Macon. It is frigid out there. 30 in Warner Robins, 30 in Thomaston, 33 in Gordon. We're at 32 to start the day in Unadilla, 31 in Montezuma, and 27 in Wrightsville. It is colder. Like I said, just when you thought it couldn't get any colder, here it is. We're anywhere between 5 to 9 degrees cooler, so not drastic, but it's definitely noticeable. Good thing is it's not windy to start the day, so what you see is what you get temperature-wise. We don't need it to feel any colder this morning. As we go through the day, we'll be in the low 40s by around 9 o'clock, and then we'll head into the mid-50s by lunchtime. We'll top out in the upper 50s today. Overall, it's going to be a really beautiful afternoon. It's going to be warmer despite the fact that we're starting cooler. Now, speaking of warmer, we are going to be warmer for Thanksgiving Day. I'll have the details on that forecast and talk about when we'll see our next rain chance along another cold front. That's all in just a few minutes.
Well, new from overnight, a 52nd deadly attack in Macon now marks a record-breaking year for homicides in the city. It
comes after someone shot and killed a man in a car on Riverside Drive. The Bibb Sheriff's Office says the call came in just after 11 last night to the parking lot of the Best Western. Deputies found a 27-year-old Florida man unresponsive. They say the victim attempted to drive away after someone shot him.
Now, the car crossed over Riverside and went into the ditch. Macon-Bibb County Coroner Leon Jones says that there were 2 other people in the car who actually got out.
It was 2 more people in the car that jumped out the car and ran across the interstate. And they got some minor injuries where they jumped the guardrail and the fence, and they was transported to Atrium by another ambulance.
Investigators are still working to get in touch with the victim's family before they go ahead and release his name. Right now, there's no information on what led up to the shooting or who might be responsible.
Now, Jones says this shooting marks Macon's 52nd homicide of the year. And with more than a month left until the end of the year, the city has already passed the record that was set back in 2020 at 51. One homicide last year came after a deadly attack in downtown Macon that included a mass shooting. This week marks a year since the Black Friday attack along Cherry Street that killed 1 person and left 7 others hurt.
6 were shot and 2 were stabbed. A year later, the Bibb County Sheriff's Office says the investigation is complete, but the District Attorney's Office has yet to indict the 2 suspects in the case. Duran Falk and Damian Tuff are currently in jail facing murder and aggravated assault charges. Macon-Bibb DA Anita Reynolds Howard says her office believes the case is still not ready for prosecution. She says they're waiting for evidence from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation that includes both an autopsy and firearm report.
Now, in a statement, she wrote, quote, "This case is an unfortunate example of how the current staffing shortages at the state level affect my office's ability to obtain justice for crime victims." Howard says her office will continue monitoring the case and will be ready to review and move forward with prosecution once they get that evidence.
Because Duran Falk was not indicted within 90 days from the time investigators arrested him, a judge had to grant him bond.
The judge set that at $150,000. Falk is still in jail right now.
A Houston County man will now serve a life sentence in prison. Yesterday, a judge found 79-year-old Harold SEIDENFADEN guilty of murder and possession of a knife during commission of a felony in his wife's death. That's according to Houston County's acting district attorney. Now, the sheriff's office says in February, SEIDENFADEN told a neighbor he'd had an argument with his wife and killed her. Investigators found 60-year-old Deborah SEIDENFADEN dead inside their RV in Elko. Houston's acting DA says the 2 got into an argument over a shoulder surgery that Harold needed to schedule for the next day.
Now to news from across the state this morning. Jury deliberations continue for a second day in the murder trial over Ahmaud Arbery's death. Yesterday, jurors spent about 6 hours deliberating before adjourning without a verdict. They are weighing several charges in the case, including murder in the 2020 deadly shooting. The charges are against father and son Gregory and Travis McMichael, along with William Roddy Bryan. Turning now to election news, voters in Warner Robins, today is your last day to cast your ballot early in the runoff election for mayor. That's
right. Early voting for the November 30th election ends today. People in the International City can vote for LaRonda Patrick or the incumbent Mayor Randy Toms. The city says you can vote at the Houston County Board of Elections office on Kings Chapel Road in Perry or the Houston Health Pavilion on North Houston Road in Warner Robins.
Now you have 9 hours to get out and vote today. Early voting runs from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Election day is next Tuesday. Traveling over now to some Thanksgiving news. Ready or not, the holiday is just 24 hours away. Whether you're taking to the skies, maybe you're hitting the roads, just expect to see a lot of people out there with you.
Exactly. AAA predicts more than 53 million people will travel this Thanksgiving holiday. That's up 13% from last year and is close to pre-pandemic levels. Of those more than 53 million, AAA expects over 4 million to fly. That's up 80% from last year. Right now, you're taking a live look over a beautiful Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, where you're probably going to see a large portion of Thanksgiving travelers passing through. It's absolutely beautiful, Caitlin.
Say that sunrise is really pretty. Well, from this past Saturday to this upcoming Monday, the 29th, over 2 million passengers will travel to or from Hartsfield-Jackson. That's according to a senior deputy general manager with the airport. And AAA expects over 48 million people to travel by car, but you may not run into as many delays thanks to the Georgia Department of Transportation.
They're suspending construction-related lane closings on interstates and state routes for the holidays. The pause started this morning at 5, and it's going to run until Sunday night at 10.
And GDOT says you will want to be cautious, though. Crews may still be out working near the highways, and some long-term closings may have to stay in place.
Even though you may not see as many delays from lane closings, you still can expect heavy traffic. Ahead of the holiday, GDOT released a travel forecast for Metro Atlanta. Today, they expect the heaviest traffic to happen between noon and 6 this evening.
And they say that's because of last-minute shoppers, people leaving work early. So if driving near Metro Atlanta, plan to add, now GDOT, I know you're being modest, 30 to 45 minutes to your travel time. That's a normal day. I would say at least an hour. But good news, it is all green lights for Thursday through Saturday. Sunday, GDOT expects normal levels with moderate traffic between 5 and 8 p.m. And if you are traveling, make sure you are safe to drive before you hit the roads.
That's right. That's exactly what AAA wants to make sure of this holiday season. They say their tow-to-go service will be available today through next Monday in certain states, including in the Peach State. When you call, a tow truck will take an impaired driver and their car to a safe spot within a 10-mile radius.
AAA says the service is free, but you should treat it like a backup plan. They first encourage you to already have a designated driver and a safe ride home set up before you go out. The towing service runs from 6 tonight until 6 next Monday morning, the 29th. All right, the time is now 6:38. The good news is for people who are traveling, it doesn't look like we have a lot of weather getting in the way at least.
That's definitely very good. I feel like, you know, GDOT, they said 30 to 45 minutes. I would add that to the commute on the interchange here.
Yes. Yeah. And then you go through that area going into Locust Grove, traveling up I-75.
Oh my gosh.
That's just a normal day.
Yes, it's always like right when you hit McDonough.
Yes,
I feel
every time.
Yes.
It's like you're so close.
And there's nothing there. It just slows down. Anyway, you know the deal, everybody. Be sure that you're giving yourself a few extra minutes. Yeah, isn't it beautiful? Oh, just a glowing start. All of us on the morning team here, when we see this, Wanye always sings the Lion King theme song at the opening of it. Well, that's what it looks like.
I don't want ABC to come for us.
All right, exactly. No. We don't want any copyright problems up in here, but I'm not trying to get sued today. But it is a really beautiful morning out there. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving Eve. It's a wonderful morning, but very, very cold. So while it looks pretty, if you don't like the freezing temperatures, then it probably doesn't feel so pretty out there. But hey, that's what the heater in the car is for. And if you're lucky enough to have seat heaters, turn those up as well. 27 right now in the city of Dublin. If yours work as overtime as mine do, I'll tell you, I was saying it earlier this morning, felt like there was going to be a fire starting in my car. My seat heaters got so hot. 28 in Macon, 30 in Warner Robins, 31 in Montezuma. We're at 34 in Milledgeville, 27 again in Dublin and in Wrightsville, and 30 in Forsyth. So most of us are at or below freezing to start the day. Very cold start. Of course, that is thanks to the fact that our cold front now well out of the way. Notice it did pass the peninsula of Florida, completely cleared it. So what does that mean? They're even waking up cold this morning. Now I do want to bring your attention quickly out to the west. There is our next front that's going to come through on Friday, and we'll talk about what that means for our forecast in just a couple of minutes here. So again, we're in the 20s. Orlando's in the 50s. Miami is at 58 degrees. That is cold. I can tell you right now, when I call my mom this morning and talk to her, she's just going to talk about how she is bundled up and freezing with all the blankets on. Now do notice we're colder than New York and Washington this morning. So yeah, definitely a chilly start across the southeast as a whole. As we go through the day though, we'll actually be warmer. Temperatures will top out near 60 degrees. Lots of sunshine. It'll be beautiful. We'll stay in the 30s through around 8 and then we'll nudge back into the 40s by around 9 this morning. But it is going to be very cold for just about the entire commute hour for the start of the day. As we head through the overnight hours, low temperatures will drop into the low 30s. It'll be another cold start to tomorrow. So of course, tomorrow morning, if you're getting up extra early for Thanksgiving, it's going to be a very cold morning out there, but that might actually make the kitchen feel a little nice because I know that's going to heat up. So for your Thanksgiving forecast, I had to give the turkey his little moment there. But as we go towards 8 o'clock, we'll be near 40 degrees. Temperatures tomorrow will be warmer. We'll head into the low to mid 60s, and then come 6 o'clock, we'll be back in the 50s. Overall, a really great day after a cold start. Now here comes that front that's well out to our west. Going to bring a rain chance as we head into Friday morning, so very early Friday. But of course, this Friday isn't just any Friday, it's Black Friday. So that means I know a lot of you are probably going to be heading out that early to go do shopping. Just keep in mind if you are heading out before sunrise that you're more than likely going to experience at some point some chilly rain. Behind that, if you're heading out shopping a little later in the day, it's going to be breezy, it's going to be cold. Notice temperatures for your Black Friday only in the 50s with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour, so it'll feel a little cooler through the morning. As we head into the weekend, behind that cold front, we're waking up in the 30s and 40s with highs in the 50s and 60s. A dry front moves in on Sunday night, and that'll keep us cold into the start of next week.